Avengers Infinity War might be a while away, but that hasn't stopped fans from rampantly speculating about who will or won't survive the superhero supergroup's first run-in with the Mad Titan himself, Thanos. Fans have waited more than 5 years to see the big guy in action, and it's widely expected that Thanos will bring about the deaths of several major characters to prove his might. From the core Avengers lineup to supporting helping hands and characters who aren't even official Avengers yet, there are tons of people who are likely candidates for his chopping block. With this in mind, I'm Jules the Southwest Star-Lord for Whatculture.com, and these are the 10 characters most likely to die in the Avengers Infinity War. Number 10. Drax the Destroyer. Now, Drax has got a real murder boner out for Thanos, considering that he sent Ronan to kill his family. And when the big guy finally comes face to face with the all-powerful Purple One, it's safe to say that something's gonna have to give. Unfortunately, it's a distinct possibility that Drax's overzealous, overconfident mentality might end up also being his undoing, with Thanos quickly taking him down in a brutal display of power, with the rest of the Guardians being unable to intervene. It would be tremendously shocking to see one of the MCU's best comic relief characters summarily dismantled, and would likely create a very different tone for the inevitable third Guardians of the Galaxy film. Number 9. Loki. Loki's allegiances have flip-flopped so frequently over the course of his MCU tenure that it would be surprising if he didn't go full evil or become a legit anti-hero. The latter seems a little more likely given his flirtation with the good side in Thor: The Dark World, and considering the film also teased with him being killed off, maybe it will actually happen for good in Infinity War. Infinity War also accounts for the 5th film in Tom Hiddleston's 6-movie contract, but it's worth noting that Marvel isn't obliged to carry out all 6 of these movie options and could easily kill Loki off, bringing the actor's tenure to a premature close. Considering how gingerly he's slunk in and around death to date, it wouldn't exactly be shocking if somebody finally put him to rest for good. Number 8. Nick Fury. Nick Fury is essentially the godfather of the Avengers, and it would certainly bring a wealth of emotional impact to see him cut down in the heat of battle. Fury has already had a fake-out death in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but this time there won't be any sneaky tricks, with Thanos quite possibly taking him out once he finally gets hold of all of the Infinity Stones. And also you gotta think, is there really much more for Fury to do? Civil War decisively proved that these movies don't really need him, no matter how awesome he is, so why not give him an epic, effortlessly emotional death scene that places the entire team in major turmoil? Number 7. Nebula. It's well documented that Nebula has a bit of a tumultuous relationship with her adoptive father Thanos, and how galling would it be for the Mad Titan to eliminate his own family to prove his overpowering ruthlessness? This could also result in some terrific drama for Gamora, who will have to deal with the devastation of losing her sister and reflect on the complicated, often confrontational nature of their relationship. Number 6. Falcon. Falcon is an awesome supporting member of the Avengers, but he is considered easy fodder should Thanos launch a catastrophic attack against the team, mainly because he's a B member who can be offed without denting the series' star power too much. It would naturally affect Captain America greatly and would be a shame to lose his charisma, but as it stands, there's a good chance of him being scattered to the winds. Number 5. Hawkeye. Hawkeye is by far the most boring and least liked of the core Avengers lineup, mainly because he played a zombie in the first film and has had little character development since. Therefore, it's likely that he'll be the first core member to go, but would still provide a deep emotional hit for fans because they'd be seeing one of the primary members go. Number 4. The Collector. The Collector has been a relatively minor MCU character to date, though that seems likely to change in Infinity War, considering the fact that he's attempting to collect all of the Infinity Stones, the very objects that Thanos himself is keen to get his hands on. It goes without saying that Thanos will acquire them at some point during Infinity War, which makes it almost a dead certainty that he'll run into and likely annihilate the Collector. Unless he slinks out by the skin of his teeth, it seems improbable that the Collector could survive an encounter with Thanos, so hopefully Del Toro will finally get a chance to shine when he stands toe-to-toe with the supervillain. Number 3. Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. has had by far the most interesting tenure with the MCU to date, commanding fat stacks of cash for his part in popularizing the franchise, all while refusing to confirm his involvement in a 4th Iron Man film. But that doesn't mean that Tony Stark isn't killed by Thanos in Infinity War and then subsequently resurrected for the Avengers 4. In fact, dying and coming back to life might even give Stark the ultimate perspective he needs. That once Thanos is finally defeated in the movie, he retires and hands off the Iron Man mantle to a successor, neatly tying off his arc and allowing a new actor to become the new iteration of Iron Man. Number 2. Captain America. Chris Evans has made no secret of the fact that he eventually wants to move on to a directing career, even though he's recently balked at the idea of abandoning the MCU. Still, after Cap survived against the odds in Civil War, it would make a lot of sense for Steve to be Infinity War's big emotional casualty, perhaps even creating a cliffhanger on which the movie ends. This would allow Bucky to take up the shield and carry on the Captain American name with all the freedom and wall building that entails. Considering that Sebastian Stan has only appeared in 3 films of a mammoth 9-picture deal, it makes an enormous amount of sense that he's going to become Cap sooner rather than later. And number 1, Vision. No death feels more certain in Infinity War than Vision, considering that the Mind Stone is currently embedded in his head, and Thanos is almost definitely going to take possession of it by the end of the movie. It also makes sense for him to die, given how ridiculously powerful Vision has been shown to be so far, as killing him would send a terrifying message to both the Avengers and the audience, not to mention it would give Scarlet Witch another loved one to sob over. And then you have to consider Marvel Studios, who just loves to toy with audience expectations, as shown in the Mandarin twist and Cap surviving Civil War, so perhaps this is a setup for something more elaborate with Vision, or maybe that's exactly what they want you to think. And that's our list. Got any more heroes who might get a good fisting from the Mad Titan? Well, let us know about it in the comments section below. And why not swing by Whatculture.com for more news and daily articles like this every goddamn day. I've been Jules of Whatculture.com, and you can follow us here on Twitter or me personally at RetroJ with a 0, and I will speak to you soon.